So we're here. We're here. Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Marsman, my friend, his friend,
yes, sir.
Everyone's friend, professional stuntman, stunt coordinator, special effects expert, and what the hell, you even drove army tanks for a living once.
That is correct. I know. I start somewhere.
Yeah, man. Grab that bottle there, bud.
Thank you.
No, it's not yours. It's his.
Oh.
Here, let me pour.
I thought it was done now.
Well, we might as well just dive
that's
right
a
in.
wrap.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man.
Parting gifts.
Yeah, let me know what you think of this, Darren. I don't know.
I totally will. Again, I haven't tried it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've tried numerous tequilas in my life. Yes, I have.
And you've not tried this?
I have not. I've seen it. However, haven't had the pleasure.
Well,
Okay.
today's the pleasure. So
Copy that.
before we go any further,
Is this a sponsor thing?
nope, not at all. No.
I wish.
I'm totally
It
fine.
might be.
Someday.
Right?
If there's a tequila company out there that wants to sponsor us, let's dive in.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Very happy to be here.
Well, thanks for coming.
So stoked to have you here.
Feeling kind of honored, actually.
Cheers.
I'm
Cool.
sure out of the hundreds, if not thousands of people,
We are getting calls.
you could call.
and texts and emails on a daily basis.
Damn, Skippy.
People want to come here.
I believe it. Why not?
We know who we
man.
want.
And
Thanks for taking.
I've got chills already.
He's crying, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
crying. I know. I'm very emotional.
So, hey, listen, thank you for coming out you've had a busy schedule. You were on set all day yesterday. You came down here today. This is wonderful.
Super appreciative. Yeah.
No worries, guys. Anytime.
We don't want to date the show, but what's the show you're doing?
Right now, I'm doing Beacon 23.
Right on.
And I'm also working on the Rocks. It's a Don Cheadle thing.
Oh, right on.
Who's directing?
Yeah,
and
I did that
also-
one just the other day, too.
Did you?
That was awesome.
It's
yeah.
cool, eh?
Yeah, Don
He's an
Cheadle,
awesome
man.
guy.
Yeah.
He's so real. You
Yeah.
know? It's a very cool guy to work with. So yeah, and
Cool.
I just come off of Flint Strong, the
Right on.
boxing thing.
Okay.
Clarissa Shields, True Story, Olympic fighter.
Well, you've been busy,
with
but
Michigan.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to book a vacation. That's why I'm busy.
well, speaking of vacations, you have got an incredible tan.
Thank you so much.
Man.
I work on it. Got to top it up. In the summertime.
What are you doing?
I've taken up paddleboarding, stand-up paddleboard, SUP.
So
if
much
you will.
fun.
So
Does that
much
take
fun.
abs?
It does. It takes abs. So what I do is I get another person actually to kind of push a little.
yeah. Someone to swim along and keep it from rocking.
Yeah. No, it's an excellent exercise regime, if you will.
Yeah.
Zero impact. And you're working your abs, you're working your arms, you're working all of that, and your balance. The stabilizers you never use in your feet when you get older.
Yeah.
Right. All
Yeah,
that
it's a
stuff.
great
Well, that's
sport.
kind of neat.
It's very cool.
Where do you go?
Burlington. I've been to Burlington and
Just on the lake kind of thing?
Yeah, the Burlington Beach. You guys been there?
No.
No.
My God.
Let's
I
go.
like
Let's just
Burlington.
cut the show and go.
Let's go and cut
Take the
to
tequila.
beach.
Should we bring that?
No, really. Like Burlington they've churched up their whole water line, right? And now there's like 3 beaches there. You ever heard of Hutch's? Hutch's or
No.
Barangas?
Is it a restaurant?
Barangas is a restaurant. Hutch's also a restaurant.
I went to a restaurant on Burlington on the water line, sort of there,
Yeah.
once before, and it was it had a beautiful back patio with flames and all kinds
Is
of
that
things.
where
on it.
we went?
It was gorgeous.
When we did the BMW show.
That would
You know
be
what? We might
Barangas.
have.
That's Barangas.
Is it?
That's Barangas.
It's
yeah.
gorgeous.
There's totally
Good food too. Yeah.
Very good food. And also to the east of it, like maybe a half a kilometer, 3/4 kilometer, is Hutch's, which is also great, but it's like, hot dogs, hamburgers, fries, all that stuff, but like nice stuff. Good street food.
So you work on your
Sweet.
abs, and then you go eat stuff.
I know.
Just completely.
It's the battle. It's the battle that I'm working with.
I love it. It's
is
awesome.
battle.
But no, I love it. And from what I can see, a lot of people have been taking up stand-up paddleboarding because there's a lot of newbies out there.
Well, I couldn't tell the difference between a newbie and a nobby, but Andrew and
We
I
went kayaking. Yeah.
We went kayaking a few weeks ago, and the river's full of them.
Yeah.
Everybody's
they're
on
everywhere.
paddleboards.
Yeah,
I felt stupid being in a kayak.
Yeah.
Right?
Paddleboard's a thing.
it is. Well, it's very versatile. You can lay on it, sit on it,
And do you have the
stand
type
up on
that
it.
do you have the type that you inflate?
You know it, buddy.
Okay.
And I bought a pump too, though, because I'm not going through that.
No. You blow it up and then you can't get out on the
Yeah,
water.
it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
pooched just by blowing it up.
Friends of ours have the blow-up paddle boards, and I personally have never seen them before. So she showed me, and they're really substantial. Like they're
Oh, it's like
Yeah, they're the real deal.
totally. I mean, you when you're standing on it, it almost feels like this.
yeah. When she said she stood on it, her and her husband, I thought it's like an air mattress, and you're going to go through it. How do you balance that? But it's not. It's as hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Hard
pretty
as
neat.
a rock, man. Hard as a rock, and that's what. And again, you can put it in your car. You roll it up. You know,
Yeah,
put it on your rack
yeah.
of your roof of
Traveling
your
with it
car,
is just so
All
easy.
of that. I mean, the thing, and mine, like most of them too, they have like a backpack situation with the bag, and it's the thing is like it's like this wide, this tall. You put it on your back and off to the beach. You
And
go.
then you walk down the street
So
with this big
sick.
long paddle. Is that what the deal is?
It all, well, the paddle fold.
Oh, does it?
comes
Oh.
apart.
Oh, very cool.
Come on,
I don't know.
So you go to Hutch's, you grab a hot dog, and then you hop on the paddle board and eat it out on the.
I normally do the reverse. Hit the water first and then,
Okay.
go for the guilty pleasure. But what the hell?
So tell me about your military career. Like you what got you into film?
My journey to film
Yeah.
started with stealing my dad's car
Wicked.
numerous times and jumping out of windows and high school and stuff like that. I always tell my father, well, you've saved a whole lot on college because I did all my training before this. I've crashed a few cars when I was 14, 15, stuff like that. But to answer your question, I joined the military when I was 18 years old.
Right on.
I was looking for a job, basically. It wasn't, but I had done some reserve time. And I went, well, this is kind of easy. The interview's really easy. They go, do you like the camp? Right? So I went, yeah, I like the camp. And do you like to drive big things? Sure, I'd like to do that. And so therefore, I went in, did the medical and signed up and spent 5 years in the military.
Well, now where are you from originally?
Montreal, Quebec.
Ah.
I'm French-Canadian. Je suis un Français Canadien, monsieur. That's my first language.
Nice.
Yeah, we're both over here looking confused.
And I've known you for a cajillion years, and you really never heard that from me.
I can say
That's true.
de café noir.
I have un stylo.
Nice. And you know what it means, too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, it's actually my first language.
Okay, wow.
I learned how to speak English when I was like 8.
Oh wow.
Went to French school from kindergarten, grade 1, I think, and then went to English
In Montreal?
school in Montreal. Yeah, I was in Montreal. I was there till 18. Then moved out to New Brunswick, did my military time, went back to Montreal, and oddly enough, when I got out of the military, I was I did odd jobs, washing toilets and security at clubs and bars and
Yeah.
hoedowns. I mean, it was New Brunswick or Mukto, so it was just like kind of, but the tough places and just looking for stuff to do. Drove a cab for a while, and there was this this contest that they were having in this little town, and it was like a Mr. or Mukto contest, which I'd never had before.
Just a second.
I know.
Mukto.
The eyes. I could see the eyes going.
Mr. Mukto.
I know. Look it up. It's there. And I just happened to be part of the club there because I worked as a DJ also too for a while.
Okay. I can tell by the voice.
Thank you very much. Put your hands together for.
Yeah, true.
And so it was as a lark, really. Let's do this. Was the first time because they've always had Miss or Mukto contests.
Okay.
So they never had a Mr. one, and I ended up winning the thing. Basically, long story short, I won Mr. Mukto. It was more.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know. It's not on my resume, but
And that propelled you into the film business?
it did because what happened was then I was approached by a few people to do model some clothes and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So I did, and then from there I went, wait, this performing thing's kind of cool. I kind of like this. And
How old were you at the time?
23, probably 24, 23-ish. Let me see, 18.
Yeah, 5 years,
About
23.
about 23, 24.
Okay.
And then I got this bug for performing, I guess, performing.
Yeah.
So I went back to Montreal and went to the actor studio for a couple of years
Oh, wow.
while washing floors at Dunkin' Donuts and working in bars and
Sound like an actor.
That's what I was gonna
Right?
say. That's what actors do.
It's the normal route. It's nothing special, right?
Absolutely.
And then from there, doing some plays, dinner theater, stuff like that. A few people said, because I want to get into film and TV and stuff. And they said, you should go to Toronto. And I had a friend here living in Toronto. And so I came to basically knock on some doors, because I was also pursuing a bit of the modeling thing, only to just keep in the entertainment
Sure.
part of it, things, right?
Sure, of course.
And because it wasn't my thing, I really didn't like it. But they were paying me to do it, so what the hell?
Yeah.
And in doing that, I was, again, projected to, hey, you should go maybe talk to a background agent, extra stuff, do extra work. And I went, oh, wait, that's film. Okay, let me try that. And so I did and worked a lot. This was back in, my goodness, Top Cops and
Oh, wow.
Forever Night. And
You were doing background then?
yeah.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was I was on Top Cops like every week.
Oh, no
as
kidding.
a background dude, right? And that's how I met Matt, actually.
Yeah.
And-
I did 2/3 of those episodes.
And you never saw me?
Well, I thought that was you.
Maybe it's good that I wasn't noticed. Therefore, I could come back next week. But yeah, I did a bunch of that, and then I started sniffing around, and okay, I think I'm found home because it's the military and film industry works the same.
Right.
There's a chain of command. There's high expectations. Timing doesn't matter. Like, be there.
Timing doesn't matter.
Well, in other words, we need to set at 1:30 tomorrow morning. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, you live that life 24 hours a day, and when we need you, you're there.
Exactly.
I see.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? There's no 9 to 5. There's no I was work at 9 today, so maybe I'll be at 9 tomorrow. No, it could change and stuff like that.
So let's go
Right.
back to Mr. Amukto.
Oh, Jesus. I'm kind of afraid. I'm sorry I mentioned that.
We're really glad you did.
Yeah.
Are there photographs available?
There is one photograph that was actually in the paper. And I have it somewhere in my photograph archives at home.
Okay.
This was, of course, prior to digital. And
Sure,
all of
that
that
makes sense.
Right? It was just like, but there is one of all the guys involved.
Yeah.
In the contest. I have a very different look.
No issue.
I had like a beard, like the hair,
Right.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I can picture it. It's scaring me.
Oh, I'm telling you.
So what did you have to do?
Well, it was a 3-part thing. It was just like, you had the dance portion. You come out and you're like,
Just a
The
second.
dance
Skinnies
portion.
It's,
Yeah.
it's getting worse.
it's getting. You had to dress in like a formal, like a suit attire thing.
Yeah.
And then you came out in like whatever sort of freestyle you wanted to go with.
Now, is there anything you can show us? Or-
No.
Okay.
You don't
Not
want to
at
get up
this
and dance.
particular
Just keep your
point
seat
in
then.
time.
It's all good.
Maybe if I come back and I bring a picture, I might, give you a show.
100%. We'll be having you back.
Yeah. No,
More
but,
tequila.
yeah, more tequila. Exactly.
Cheers.
Speaking
Hey,
of that,
cheers. Yeah. Cheers.
The honorable mention. And yeah, I just it was 3 things. There was again the freestyle thing, come out in your t-shirt or skivvies or whatever you would want to do. Then there was like talk about yourself and be normal, and then dress up with a suit and stuff like that. So
You mentioned world peace.
not at that point in time. It's an army town, so
Okay, well, you did mention the dance portion. What were the other portions?
you really have to go back to that.
I want to know what you did.
Basically, it was like a makeshift runway. Put it this way: this place was this took place in the Pioneer Club in Ormocto, which was also the club that I trained at in karate. As I was a Shotokan dude for a while.
Yep.
Got a brown belt.
Nice.
All that. But that's where the event was held. So it wasn't like big formal thing, but the place was rammed. Like, and it basically what it turned out to be was a popularity contest.
Right.
Small town. I kind of was known because of this other stuff that I was doing, driving cabs and stuff. And I was a cordial guy.
Yeah.
Fun to get along with.
Yeah.
So, and my name was Sam at the time. So. Okay,
What does that
and
mean?
the bus took a turn.
There might be people looking for him.
Yeah. No, it was, this actually was given to me by Harley Morin, this guy that when I was in the military, one time we were sitting around the rooms and we had just come from basic training and got posted to Ormocto, Gagetown. And we're just sitting around the room and they were going, let's make some nicknames. And like literally Harley went, Sam, that's a good name for you.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, that's good. Let's do that. And it stuck for like 7 years, basically.
Okay, so I just heard something. Is Ormocto where Gagetown is?
Gagetown is actually the name of the base,
Okay, yeah.
and it's in Ormocto, which is like 14 kilometers outside of.
Oh, copy
Fredericton.
that. I've had other friends that went to Gagetown. I just didn't know it was near Ormocto, where they have contests where young men can win and be popular.
Well, why wouldn't? It's a Marmy town. There's
Wicked.
a bunch of.
Yeah.
No, this was the first time that they had done this Mr. Ormocto thing.
Right.
They did it a second time actually because. Why do you guys bring this out? I don't get this.
I think it was him that mentioned it.
Yeah, I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I know, but I'm just like spewing it all out.
No, it's awesome.
So, on the the following year, they wanted me to give away the crown, if you will.
I'm glad you added, if you will.
Trying to use some good words, and they actually flew me from because I went to Montreal by this time, and they flew me from Montreal to back to Ormocto to give away
Your title.
my title, which was on February 14th. It was Valentine's Day.
Whoa.
And then subsequently, my son was born on February the 15th
Oh, wow.
at the same time.
The
Oh,
very
wow.
next day.
The very next day.
Did you get home?
I actually, no. Well, he was in his mom, and they were still in Ormocto. This is like they lived there. Like,
Oh,
this
I
is,
see.
This was like a romance from my military days.
Oh,
and
wow.
stuff like
Interesting.
that, right? And it just so happened that Darren was born on February the 15th. Yes, my name too. And
You could call him Sam.
Yeah.
right, I'm surprised it's not his middle name. and yeah, so I've actually from when we were doing the contest. After this was the second time, so I was giving away like my crown and stuff, and Steve Mitchell, who owned the club, he came to me probably about like 12:30 at night. You could imagine the state of mind, right? And he goes, "We just got a call from Wanda, who was like Lorette's sister, and I don't know. Should I be mentioning names? I don't know.
He didn't say anything last
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And he said, you have to go to the hospital now." And it was like 12:30 at night.
I imagine in some regard you knew it was coming.
I did. Well, I did. I didn't know though it was going to be like that morning. Like
Right,
I figured.
sure.
Because when Steve called me, he said, "Listen, Sam, we want to get you back to the thing." And I went, "Well, okay. Like, I'd like to stay there for like 3-4 days, though. So it was just a matter of doing the flights in different days. But I had planned to be there, Andrew, to your point, for like 3-4 days because it was.
It was
supposed to
close. You
happen
knew it was
in that
happening.
window.
Yeah, I see.
In that window, right?
Right.
So it all kind of happened, and well, timing is everything in life.
That's great.
And yeah, so so I gave away the crown, and then Darren was born, and there you go.
It's a great weekend.
That was what a weekend. But yeah, and then again, fast forward to going back to Montreal and going to the studio and coming here, and then doing background work, and then I knew that I wanted to stay in the film industry, so I had to figure out how I'm going to do that without because I was selling cars at the time as well. So I went, I know, be a member of the crew.
Okay.
like figure out how to
FX.
well, but it actually started up as set deck
Okay.
because I was a set decorator at first for like probably 2 years.
Man, you're just navigating your way.
Oh,
This
totally,
is awesome.
Totally.
Yeah,
Well, that's it's the thing.
Yeah, I love it.
And then from being a set decorator, who for the most part, and shout out to set decorators because this is not an easy job, but for me, for my portion of it, it was like your glorified mover. You're moving furniture and stuff, and
Sure.
you know what I mean. Like
Go put it there.
Go put it there,
So
and
you go
here's
put
the
it
thing, and somebody says, "Okay, we want the couch here," and da da da. So,
Yeah, but you also have to move the TV or the stereo because the camera's going to go there and you get it out of the room.
correct, and exactly. So you need to learn those types of things. And I went, okay, this is cool, but I want to do something else. And I saw the prop guys, right? And I went, oh, I like that. They play with all the toys and they give it to the actors, and they, like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm not moving furniture that much.
And you have experience with firearms.
And I've had to have experience with firearms. And at the time, that wasn't a relevant point, but it became relevant later, right? And then someone, okay, let me check out some prop dudes because they work together. Sets and props work together. So then I met a property master, and then I started doing dailies, doing props at that point. And I went, oh, cool. And then I was like, turns out like I was kind of a natural. I pay attention. I know how to fix stuff and, real quick and stuff. And I went, okay, this is cool. I like this. But the stunt guys,
That's cool.
that's cool. And that fits right into my wheelhouse. I can blow shit up. I've been around fire. I've been around noise. I've repelled out of shit. I've dropped some broken and fucking driven and whatever. And, and all that. And I went, this is good. This is like, these guys are like the special forces of the movies.
Whoa, I never thought of it that way.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, we see new T-shirts coming.
It's true. Listen, what do special forces do, right? They fly in, do their shit, and they're out.
Well, that's what we do.
That is exactly.
That is exactly what we do.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we do. So I went, oh, wait. And the chain of command, I get this. Been there before.
Totally.
Right? And also, too, though, the discipline that's needed to do that job. So, which was, I've had it from the military, and, I work under pressure and all that business, like shit's firing around you. Don't worry. Just do your job. Stay focused. Train, do blah, blah, blah. So I went, I think I want to go there. So then started talking with special stunt coordinators and stuff. And at first, they go, yeah, right. Yeah, kid. Dwayne McClain.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. You guys know, right?
Yeah, he's going to be here shortly.
Yeah.
Not today, but
You
soon.
should have a Veterans Day.
I could. That would be fun.
You should have a Veterans Day.
Fill the room with guys.
Totally.
Well, we'll rip me out of this seat. Put someone else.
No. You're you're the royalty that has to stay here. Right. So
I'd love to be in the room. So
But you have been.
Yeah, I certainly have been. Yeah.
You have been.
But learning some stuff, man, it's cool learning this stuff about you. I love this.
Yeah. And I don't get the opportunity to talk about myself a lot like this.
Right.
And-
Well, we don't talk
the
about
only
this
thing
kind of
around-
stuff on set.
You don't. You really don't. You just kind of just hang out and all of us, because it takes a certain personality to become a stunt person, and a stunt performer and a stunt coordinator, or to just be in the zone right there.
And to stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an exclusive club, if you will. You know what I mean?
I think so to some degree. Yeah, it is.
It is. Like lots of people, hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. And
you know immediately. I mean, you know. You can
do.
just tell the person. He can say all he wants, but you know.
Absolutely. You can feel it. You sniff it out, right? And some of us are fortunate enough to have been able to stay there for whatever your background is. But now you're here as a regular, because it takes like 7 years really to become like, yeah, I'm a stunt guy.
Yeah.
You don't do two
to
stunts.
get your name out there and heard by every year.
And let people know you
Yeah.
for whatever skills you bring to the party.
Totally.
Or whatever, right? And
If there's anything in life that can discourage you from anything, it's becoming a stunt guy.
copy that. That's not wrong, because you have to you have to be diligent. You have to want it. You have to, just make the calls and not be a pain in the ass and perform and be there. And
That in itself is a balance. Right?
But it is kind of like
You don't
anything.
want to be a pain in the ass, but you got to make the call.
right?
But it's that is kind of like anything really. But it is particularly hard with the industry being so small, so tight, kind of like a little community.
It's
the
special forces, and
Right. That's right. You mentioned that.
not everybody gets to go there.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm already thinking of a logo.
But it is. We fly in, we fly out. We do our shit. Sometimes we have to sit around for 10 hours before you've got like 15 minutes of jump off that shit right there.
Yeah.
You know,
You're in your honey falling asleep.
Yeah. It's
Correct.
terrible.
Get Darren, now he can crash the car. Well,
right. Is at what time?
Hard times.
It's 2:45 in the morning. You better,
yeah.
So
My,
bring your
my
game.
favorite's crashing at the very beginning of the day and then resting the whole time and then having to crash again at the end of the day.
Isn't that fun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When your body's all seized up. and-
Absolutely. Totally. Or, okay, we're going to do the stair fall first up, but we're going to shoot part of it at the end of the day.
oh yeah.
Okay, so you do 4, 5, 6 times, whatever. And now the seizing happens.
Yeah. That's right.
And I was like, okay, you're up.
Are you napping? Is your body hurting?
Yeah.
Come on
Come
out.
on out. Advil is my friend.
Yeah.
shout out to Edmund.
Yeah, shout out to Advil. We're doing all kinds of sponsors after this.
So how long were you in the military? What was going on?
I did. I think it was probably a year and a half of reserve work. I was a Canadian Grenadier Guard. They're the guys that are at the foot guards in Ottawa, Parliament Hill.
Okay.
Most of them, they're all CGG, Grenadier Guards. I did about a year and a half of that. And then I stopped for a hot minute, and my memory kind of lapses at that point because I don't know what I did to propel me to go to regular force. The only thing I remember, because again, it was like, 1978. I was walking down the street with my friend Stephen Price down in Montreal on St. Catherine Street, and we were both looking for jobs at that point.
Right.
So we're just la 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 la. Hey, the recruiting office. Let's go in there, because at that point the military was actually lobbying. They needed people. They needed people to join the army, and there was commercials and stuff. And I had been in the reserves, and Steve also dabbled a bit in the reserves. Went, fuck it, probably easy place to get a job. So we went in and applied, if you will, again. And we got calls like 2 weeks later, literally, okay, so you want to come in for a physical? Fuck, really? Because, again, we didn't really think it was going to happen.
You didn't get another job between applying and that 2-week call, right?
No,
Okay, so you needed a job.
Well, no, I needed a job. I did. I actually did. Okay, here we go. I know this is gonna go. I did a couple of stripper things one time.
Whoa!
It was contests. It was contests.
Was it in Ormukto?
No, it was in Montreal at Club 281, and they had
You like contests?
Apparently, I do.
Yeah.
I'm a stunt guy. Go ahead, give me a challenge.
Yeah,
Fucking,
right.
Go ahead. How do you do that? I'll figure it out.
You like full
We're
nude?
gonna do
Yep.
it. Yep.
Yep.
Fucking
Fuck
right.
it.
Watch this. And the first prize was $500. Second prize was $250, and the third one was $100.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't have a job,
Yeah.
right? So I was like walking around.
What'd you do with the $100?
Nice one. And Randy, you are correct, because I guess what I won the congeniality portion.
Well, I bet.
of the amateur, because it was like mic night, open mic night.
Yeah.
Okay, drop pants night, call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And and that was, and every week
It's
was
exactly
like
the
that.
same. Yeah.
Totally. It's like, cool. So yeah, I did $100, and we went out and we drank some beer, and fucking it was gone in like 2 hours. But
Nice.
that was me. I was looking for a job, making some money.
So they made a call. You took the call. They said, come in for a physical.
Come in for the physical, and so I went.
They were impressed on how quickly you could get your pants off.
Well,
You
they
practiced.
apparently they saw my Mr. Armacto.
This thing got me everywhere.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, it was just one of those things, and I mean, I was in shape at the time. Again, I just got out of the military,
Sure.
and I was all, it was I had like a 6-pack, not a 1-pack.
Yeah.
It was cool.
For sure.
So, and then I was actually living at my grandmother's house at the time, because I got kicked out of my house for doing a bunch of steal the car, smash the car, fucking all this.
Winning
stuff.
hundreds of dollars.
Well, they didn't know about that. They didn't know because, again, I'd moved back with my folks. And then my mom got a call because the phone number had put down. This was prior to cell phones and
Right.
stuff. So my contact numbers that I had put down on my application was my home number, which I still remember to this day, 366-2953. It's amazing.
Now somebody's going to get
Somebody
that
else's
call.
number now. Yeah.
So, hey,
Darren
there.
Area code 555.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, now you can't even remember somebody's
Oh, man.
address. The technology has made us kind of simple in many,
Totally.
many ways.
Oh yeah, totally.
But so, and they phoned my mom. So my mom phoned my grandmother and said, Darren, did you join the army? I went, yeah. Well, they gave us a call, and apparently you're in, and you have to be at blah, blah, blah station on the bus. And so from the time I actually went in for the first interview to the time I was on the bus going to Ormocto was probably 2 months, 2.5 months.
Oh, wow.
So now you probably hadn't even mentioned anything regarding military to your grandmother. So this was a wicked surprise for her.
For her too, yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Now, did you do your basic training in Nova Scotia or
No, I did in Nova Scotia in Cornwallis.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Which is no longer there, correct?
Correct. It's no longer there. But yeah, that was when, when you join the army, and again, like today's society, how everything is switched, people were screaming and yelling at you, calling you all kinds of names.
Yeah.
Maybe now they have like HR departments. In
No
the
shit.
military. Yeah, because my son's in the military. Darren's in the military.
Oh, is he?
And he was telling me things now that it's like, well, you can't really scream at people anymore because you're going to have to go to the commanding officer and you could be talked to about that.
That's fascinating.
And there's no I won't say beating stuff because that's not, but like physical,
Sure.
There was no, back in the day, if you're lagging or you're kind of you're being slack and they know you're being slack, it's not like a physical, they kind of give you a shove and get the fuck in there and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
None of that. None of that. That's just abusive behavior.
What kind of soldiers
Really?
do you think are going to come
So,
up?
right. So what do you think is going to happen when soldiers actually deal with shit?
You can't call the HR department when the enemy is yelling at you.
Correct. It's really, it's a fucked up situation over there. It really is. It's like, Darren was telling me stuff like, oh no, you can't do that now.
Where do these rules come from? What's making them?
I think part of that is our society where we are right now.
So is it that stuff like this gets public and becomes popular and then they go, oh, fuck, we got to change it? Or is it integral change? Is it something that somebody inside actually thought we should change this?
Well, the thought, I think, it's a good question, Andrew. I don't know. It's kind of, it's society driven, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Point in time.
It's kind of what I figured. But
However, it applies only in certain areas, not everywhere. I don't know, I digress. I see the airborne thing written here.
Yeah.
man.
And it brings a memory to me when the airborne regiment was disbanded, and I think it was an Afghanistan thing. I'm not sure if it was, it may be prior to Afghanistan. I'm not quite sure. But what happened was they sent the airborne regiment to do some peacekeeping in a country like, the Middle East. Airborne soldiers are not peacekeepers. Those guys are special forces. You send airborne guys to go in, fucking kill, get the objective, and get out.
Okay.
That's their job. Their whole training is geared towards that. It's not geared towards humanitarian missions. Everybody needs a fucking pit bull once in a while.
Damn right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we had one here.
Right? Well, everybody needs one of those.
Yeah.
And every country needs one of those. Sometimes they get talked about, but you know what? When you want to get shit sorted, you got to have the right people in the right place and send those guys in and fucking do that.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So, again, back to your question of what's driving this new age military, social, and politics, basically, getting elected, getting.
Okay.
I like you. You're a nice guy and you're a humanitarian. You're not going to be fucking, you know what I mean? And then I think it just filters down through there. It's a huge question, and I personally don't agree with that thought or theory.
I agree.
Because this is the military. It's just like stunt work. You come to work, somebody calls you, you come to work. And it's like, well, I'm a little sore here, so I can't really do that right now.
Totally.
Fuck you. I called you to come here and fall down the fucking stairs. I told you this.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, you know.
One of the coordinators in town had a young guy come up to him and said, is this going to hurt? He said, just get off my set. Like, of course, that's not the intention.
No, but you see, Randy, what you said, though, is this is the difference. Like right now in every freaking category with kids growing up and prior, maybe the generation before me, I don't quite know, everybody gets a trophy.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck off. You didn't win. You don't get a fucking trophy.
Right.
This world has obviously gone.
We're afraid to hurt somebody's
really
feelings.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And saying that said, Darren, we have nothing to give you at the end of the day.
I'm looking for a bottle of tequila. When
Okay,
I
copy
fucking
that.
leave
That's easy.
Yeah, we can do
I
that.
came here for tequila.
That's a trophy. That's a trophy.
That's an attaboy. Well done.
But
No, it was just
like
that.
you said, it doesn't apply in every area. And I would imagine that there are areas of our government and our military where this stuff still doesn't necessarily apply because it's managed to stay under the radar anyway. And they don't need to make these changes because society is not necessarily going to see anything.
Yeah, well, they're not. And again, the military has many, many different departments, just like the film industry. You have the admin department. You have the people who put the paychecks together. You have the people who don't, they don't necessarily have to, in my opinion anyway, don't have to, like, be subjected to, like, fucking get under the wire or...
No, of course
like,
not.
You know what I mean? So it needs to be gauged to whatever.
Yeah.
You don't just take a paintbrush and paint the whole thing.
Exactly.
And go, everybody's got to do this now.
Yeah.
So, again, it's... Because, I mean, the odd time, it's not like I sit there and watch military training films or anything like that. But, you're parts of websites and stuff, and you see, like, what some of the other militaries in the world... Mm-hmm. How they're trained and like, so now you're going to send a guy who's going to go to the fucking HR department because he got screamed at in basic training.
Yeah. There's some very famous videos about Navy SEAL training.
Yeah.
You can't take it. You go ring that bell. You quit out, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to the
it's
HR of
it's
the
left
Navy
up to
saying,
you.
they made me carry a log.
Yeah. For this long. And then he screamed at me when I started to buckle.
Yeah.
Like when, yeah.
I mean, you got,
I know, right?
Oh my God.
you have to temper the steel. You know what I mean? If you're going to make a knife or a sword that fights in battle, you've got to temper that steel. And if the steel can't cut it, you don't use that.
Correct. Exactly.
So silly.
It's very silly. Again, you don't send airborne dudes to keep the peace. those guys are there to go in, get it, do what you got to do, kill people, fuck it, and get out.
Now,
Don't go in there and start talking. So listen, hi, my name's John, and I got some cash for you, and can we make a deal? No, you don't send those guys for that. Just send other guys for that. Because John's not. I don't give a fuck. Boom, there.
100%.
That's why you send those guys in there.
Now today is like a data age. It's a communication age. It's behind tech, or computers, and perhaps maybe in your time it was more of a physical thing. It was more of a guy going in with a gun or whatever it might be, and it was like a physical thing. When nowadays it's drones and computers and all this other stuff, maybe there's less reason for some of this stuff. I don't know.
That's a good point, mister.
No,
I don't know.
That's a good point.
It's a good point, but at some juncture, you're going to have to go in on the ground
and do something
with a rifle.
But again, to that though, it's true because they're techie dudes. They're guys that are going to sit there way back. They're like almost artillery.
They got green hair like this.
Guys. Yeah,
right. Whatever. Yeah.
But they know how to fucking operate a drone and drop shit like fucking like right here. Mm-hmm. So,
we might not have to have them crawl under the wire either. But there's guys that have to crawl under the wire. Let's make them crawl under the wire.
Right. There's those and exactly
special forces,
stunt guys.
I'm listening.
Not fucking SSEs. No, not that there's anything wrong with it.
No.
So then, when you in there, how long did it take you to get into driving tanks, and how did that work? Did you just say, "I want to be a tank driver"?
No, nice one. So in my when I said, "Do you like to camp?" He literally said that to me. Do you like camping? and I camped every weekend with my family.
Do you like tents made out of steel?
No.
No.
I just said, do you like camping? So again, I mean, recruiters also have a quota.
Okay.
Right? Just like there's a quota.
Okay.
Right? So if this office, like they need to recruit X amount of people, that's the corporate part of the military. Right? So they find the right buzzwords and the right things to say to you.
Sure.
Right? Like they're not going to say, so do you like getting shot at over a wire?
Yeah.
Do you like to camp?
Yeah, right.
Do you like the outdoors? Sure. Right?
Do you like 3 meals a day?
Yeah.
Do you like contests?
No, but the question, how that happened, Randy, was, so I was asked those questions, and then he said, what about armored? Because you have to do an aptitude test prior to that too, and it gives the recruiter the spectrum of what
you're capable of
doing
sure.
from the aptitude test. So there was a whack of stuff, and there was actually pilot kind of showed up, but I didn't have the education for it, because I didn't even finish high school.
Okay.
So then he said, do you like armored? I didn't even know what armored meant. Like, armored, what's that?
Yeah.
And then he said, driving tanks. I went, fuck, what?
Count me
What
in.
fucking buddy? I'm there. And and here's the kicker of this. Again, my life, I really feel like I'm kind of blessed in a sense. I really do. Because my motto in my whole life is always, try to do the right thing, and right thing will happen for you. Like, just fucking do the right thing. Timing also. So when I joined in 1978, I was a tank driver. There was a lot of firsts that happened. Canada had just bought a whole regiment of brand new Leopard tanks. Like, I literally took the plastic off the seat of my tank. It was fucking brand new.
Wow, that's
very
cool.
cool.
From Kraus-Maffei, Germany.
Do they smell like new cars?
They do.
Fucking right.
No, they do. The fucking fresh paint. I'm telling you, they do. Like, because I went to Centurions prior to this, because Canada had Centurions before this. So, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking unbelievable. And then, because Canada had purchased these new tanks, now politically, like, the bus is going to take a turn here for a minute. But politically, you have to show the people of Canada where this money has been spent in the military. Sure. We bought new jets, we bought new this, fucking whatever. So we now became like the showpieces of the military. Right, so
interesting.
With dignitaries, we were doing demonstrations, fucking going all over the place with these brand new.
Did you strip?
Tanks.
You strip in front of the tank?
Well, not in front of the tank, but
But it got hot inside, right?
There's actually pseudo air conditioning in them.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The MBCW system, the nuclear, biological, chemical warfare system.
Yeah, we knew what you meant.
Thank you. Well, just for the people who don't. It acts like a bit of an air conditioner.
Cool.
But, and so I was fortunate enough to do that, and I'm going to add another piece to it because I was actually the first, and this applies now, I was the first BIPOC trained Leopard driver in Canada.
Fascinating.
Just because of the timing of it all. When I went through my driver's course, so I was double qualified driver gunner, but when I went through my driver's course in Canada, I was the only black dude in the course.
Wow. What year would this be?
Wow.
Late 70s, eh? 79,
No,
80?
1978, late 78.
Okay.
Late 78.
That's an aspect I didn't even think about.
Me
Jesus.
neither. It was actually pointed out to me from an old military friend of mine, like probably 10 years ago or something. He went, "Hey, Sam, you know what? You were the first black guy trained on Leopards in Canada."
Huh.
Because we were the first guys to be trained on those new Leopard tanks right from Cornwallis. Because again, too, normally you go to Cornwallis and you do your basic training, and then everybody splits off to their respective postings and stuff, right? So you got like a platoon of guys, call it 100 guys or whatever, and everybody splits off. Not us. All of us stayed together from Cornwallis and went to train on the Leopards. So it was this whole, again,
Cool.
The timing was very special. It was very special.
How many tanks are we talking about?
Well, there's 4 tanks in a troop, and I think there's 16. There's 16 plus 3, so 19 tanks in a squadron.
That's expensive.
And is there one man running that whole squadron, or is it sort of pieced in?
No, there's how many directors on a show?
Right. Okay.
Chain of command.
Cool.
Same way. The director, he's the commanding officer. The first AD, he's the sergeant major. He makes shit happen. Commanding officers talk to their sergeant major, and they go, "I want this, 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 this," and then the sergeant major makes that happen. Same with the first AD. Same thing. Chain of command
Cool.
is exactly the same.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's why I fit in so well. I went, fuck, I found my place here.
Yeah, right on.
Special Forces movies.
Yeah,
Love
man.
it.
So, is it hard to drive a tank? Like, can you see?
You could drive a tank in 2 minutes. It's nothing. It's the newer ones are like that. They're semi-automatic, right? So you there's park, reverse, neutral, and in neutral there's a neutral spin, so you could actually turn within the
Like
track,
a center radius sort of thing.
Correct, right?
Okay.
And then there's drive and there's low, and it's not a steering wheel. Well, for us, like before that, they had tiller bars. So like those types of things.
Kind of like a skid steer or something.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
Like a skid steer.
Right.
And Leopards had like a half wheel, like an airplane. Those.
Yeah.
Like a half wheel thing like that, and just bzz, bzz, easy.
And you competed in them.
I did. How did
Again, you like contests.
this is from?
I remember talking to you about this once before.
That's right.
That you actually competed in the army tank.
That's right. The cat competitions in Germany.
You competed for Canada.
That's correct. Correct. That's exactly right. Wow, you pay.
Yeah,
attention.
that's
why you do what you do.
At first you had to dance, then you had to strip, and then we get in the tanks and we move. No. What
kind of things did they make you do? He'll never forget that.
We're going to be on set
few
one day.
more
He's going to
jokes,
go.
Yeah,
You!
yeah, I know.
Yeah, see if you ever on another Darren shows.
Yeah.
Andrew Butcher. No, I don't. I never heard of him.
Lost a few days of work. No. Yeah.
We'll bring out the Newfoundland again.
Hey, man, that was cool. That was a wild day.
That was a wild day.
Yeah.
I was glad you were there too.
What you guys doing?
Because there was just Andrew. There was two guys that I could really fucking depend on. Andrew and Brian Thomas.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Brian.
Because a guy could throw these guys like anywhere. And it was probably one of the, weather-wise and stuff, one of the toughest freaking days.
Oh, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, that was one of those days where you just lie in the puddle and think about everything else but lying in the puddle.
Try to find your happy place for fuck's sake, because this is
man.
brutal.
Now, see, that's military.
Signal Hill, that's it. Signal Hill. It rained, it snowed, it got cold.
It was hitting you from
Fucking sideways fucking snow.
Yeah, that was a crazy day.
Crazy place.
Weather-wise,
Signal
big
Hill.
time.
It was a crazy day, and you needed guys that were like, you know what, get over it. Fucking get in there and do your job.
To me, that's the
Those
best
two
part
guys,
about it.
Andrew, Brian, that's it.
I love walking away from shit like that.
Yeah.
And just going, we're still alive.
We're still here.
It's all good.
Right. We're not going to die.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's the best part.
It is. It's just part of the...
What was the show you're on?
What was that called? It was a
Nobody knows
Jason
the name
Momoa.
of the show.
Jason Momoa. He was
show, Frontier.
fighting in it. Yeah,
Frontier.
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was a big fight. And even at the end of that, because Jason doesn't give out the attaboys very much, but he came up to me at the end of that and said, good fight. Because the whole night
Sweet.
was a fight.
That was a wild one. Yeah.
There was like elements all over the
Guys
hill
everywhere.
and
Yeah.
fucking all shit. So
Yeah. And it looked good too. All that fire and all that.
It did.
It looked great. The
looked-
weather played a role. It was awesome.
it played a nasty role, but it did because
Yeah.
it made it look that much more gnarly.
Yeah, man. It was good.
Even the director kind of cacked out. Do you remember there was a point?
Oh, you know the director.
There was a point halfway through after lunch, and he was just done. And the DOP actually took over the rest of that evening. There was a point there that happened, and he just couldn't deal with it. It was like, fuck, man. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
There was
I
a
do
thing.
remember the frustration.
There was it was a
What,
big
with
thing.
the weather?
The weather, which got compounded into the scene and the storyboard and the fucking matching and
What was he frustrated about?
all of it.
Oh, just okay.
Just the whole thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
The
I
whole thing.
think he might have lost a little bit of control in what he was doing.
Correct.
Right. I
correct.
sort of remember that.
That's
yeah.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't going quite the way he was seeing it or whatever. Because
Yeah.
and the DOP actually took over the thing at the end of it.
Yeah.
and, you know.
Wow. I
shame.
forgot about that. Wow.
But my fucking troops were there.
Fucking A, man. Yeah,
That's
it was
true.
good.
I won't forget that. There was two guys, you and Brian. They're the only two guys that I could go. Those guys will do fucking anything.
Yeah.
And they're there.
They have and they will.
And they will. And
Yeah.
they're
Shout
there.
out to Brian Thomas and Andrew Butcher.
Copy that.
Good stunt guys.
Absolutely. And that's what you need. It's special forces. I don't care if you're wet and you got shit all over you.
100%.
Fucking get in there and do your job.
Yeah. It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. That's why it's special.
Well, you know what I think about too is I think, well, the factory's not for me. The big warehouses aren't for me. So I'll stick to this. You know,
Totally.
Big crazy weather or not. Yeah.
Well, you see, Andrew, you're kind of predisposed to it.
I know I am.
You're kind of predisposed
That's
to
the
it.
thing, man. I also embody him when I go to set. I
Totally.
think about what he would do, and I'm going, you
If
know
I
what?
get out of this puddle right now, my dad will be pissed.
Yeah. I've always lived with that kind of thing, you know.
No,
And
it's
to
a
me,
true thing.
it's a good role model. It's a tough, good, solid role model to help me get through those things.
Pan the room at this point.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Thanks.
Yeah, very lucky.
You are. You're like, well,
Yeah,
like
man.
I said before. I know I said in jest, but really, you're kind of like royalty. Your dad's been around forever. Mm-hmm. And done like extremely well. But you took to it though, which is a thing on your part. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could have been like a dude like, oh no, I'm.
Yeah, but see, we've said this before. When you had a guest on, you mentioned me hiring Andrew or my kids and whatever. If he, you can get the person in the door, but they have to have the moxie to stay in the door.
Bingo.
Big time.
So there's nothing I can do about that.
Bingo.
They started auditioning as children. They started doing stunts as children. I can't do dick about that.
No, that's true.
So
Absolutely. I mean, you can only introduce.
right.
And then if they take to it, then they do, and if they don't, then they don't. I mean, some parents, and that being said, some parents will just like try to browbeat their kids into whatever. You're not
Sure.
that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's natural. I mean, Andrew's a natural in a sense that he took to it, he was introduced to it, and bingo bango. Like fucking,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
I enjoy it. I just like it.
You do.
Too,
I know. I've had the opportunity to work with you a few times. Like, the Chucky thing? That was awesome.
Man, that was great.
That was awesome.
I had an opportunity to do some real good acting. In that.
You acted in that
Yeah.
shit, and you had to. It was,
Yeah.
and shit was changing on the fly.
Yeah. I can honestly say that I was pretty stoked to go through that little bar. I love smashing shit, and
I wanted you to go
like
over the railing and down that thing. I know.
That's the stuff that I love the most. The fight scenes and the bar scenes and the smashing of shit. That's
Yeah.
the best.
Totally.
Making a mess is the best. But
I know. I was looking forward to throwing you over that railing.
yeah. But that's all right.
But still, at the end, though, it was fucking awesome. And
It was.
You even saw the playback, and I know you liked it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
we're
there's a
always
smirk there.
well, we always look back at our own selves and go,
But sometimes you don't like it.
yeah,
You liked it.
yeah, I did.
You did.
I did.
You liked it.
I did. I was pleased with what I did. And the thing is I've been on enough stuff where the director isn't totally there for your subtleties. They want you to do something bigger, a little crazier, or something that isn't necessarily the decision you would have made as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of go, I had to do that. I had to do that.
Yeah.
But for that, I just got to do my thing, and nobody had any qualms. If anything, it went really well. I was
Yeah.
stoked about that. So
Yeah, you were given the liberty to do you.
Yeah,
and it
that was
fucking it was cool. You asked a couple questions, can I do that? But no, do you?
Yeah. I mean, outside the things that you had me doing, the acting bit, I was.
That was perfect. It was good.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice.
Way to go, butchers!
And thank you, Marsman.
And I have a picture of you coming out of a barn on your one
on
of your other
Murdoch.
shows that you did.
Yeah, that was fun.
With Alex.
Yeah,
That's right,
that was a real cool.
That was a good gig.
That
too.
was a
real
good
cool.
gag.
Yeah.
That was a good gag. You guys did really well. Like, that was the first time I personally had to coordinate like that particular thing. Two guys running out of a barn and
Crashing blind through a wall.
It was blind, yeah, it
That's
was
the
fun.
thing. The blind thing was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, right? So, we walked through it. I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, okay, so do we do this? Do we hang on to each other? Do we just fucking freeze? And what the fuck, right? And the thing,
Yeah.
you can't rehearse the thing. Like,
No.
you can only go up to the thing, right? So, it's like,
Yeah.
so what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Right? And sure enough, though, the end product was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it looked great.
Yeah.
It
man.
looked great.
Yeah.
It really, really, really looked
Really
great.
Yeah, it did. It worked out well, and it was nerve wracking. Being blind was a little nerve wracking, but
That's-
it was
that- yeah.
too much fun.
Totally.
So fun.
And you also had to do a little bit of acting shit there, laying up next to the
Damn
thing.
right, man. Call me for the stunt
Back
actor
to
role.
bars,
baby.
yeah. It's not this a cash. I like it.
yeah, it's a bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Do you still act?
I woke up today.
Ooh.
The world's a stage. I don't know. Somebody said that.
Things are turning because today he put on his pants.
Right. As opposed to take off the pants.
I think there's.
Sorry, I'll let this
there's
go.
A running theme.
No, man, it's funny.
Well, it's something we've never known. We learn about our friend Sam, and we learn.
And that's
new
what
stuff.
we're here for.
I know it's kind of weird, eh?
Well, let's get back
I need to pee.
You need to pee?
I need
fuck's
to
sake.
pee.
You
sorry,
veteran
guys.
bastards.
I know. It's been a long day. And we're back.
Awesome. That's what we're doing. So Andrew he had a question about.
Well, I just wanted to know, More about tanks. I love it. Like, how many different types of tanks did you drive, and how are they different from one another? Did you drive? Did you?
I drove. I gunned. I drove Centurions for a hot minute. That was prior to the Leopards.
Okay.
And then the Leopards were like the Cadillacs of tanks. Actually, the Leopard tank, right up until even the XM1, like the XM1 was the American, every year or 2 years or whatever, a country gets the best kick-ass equipment, whether it's a tank, an airplane, a submarine, or, every couple of years, certain different countries get like, we'd spent like $8 billion on something or whatever.
Okay.
So with tanks, after the Leopard, the XM1 was the tank to kind of be reckoned with.
XM1.
And that's the American tank.
There was American tank. Had a 120 millimeter gun. It was faster. Had Schaubern armor on it. It was a thing. However, the Leopard, though, kind of like outmaneuvered, and so it was still up there in the number one ranks of tanks. And that was right up until I stopped following. There's probably a new one. Some country probably has a new one now that I don't know about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drove, in terms of tanks, because see, the thing is, civilians, they call tanks, they see a military vehicle with a track and a gun. Mm-hmm. They go, that's a tank.
Okay.
It's not?
It's not. It's not. A tank is a separate entity. Like the artillery, for instance, has like 109s, 155s, like howitzers, big guns, mm-hmm. and they're on tracks and they move around. And civilians go, a tank. It's not a tank. There's no turret. They can't fire on the move. A tank is a certain entity in itself.
These
right?
are what makes a tank.
That's what makes a tank.
Okay.
You've got the hull and the turret, and they're independent of each other, and they can swing around and fire and move and fire and boom. They don't have to stop, stake pegs, all that. So that's a tank. So I drove a Centurion for a hot minute, but I know Leopards. That's the one that I know.
What does Canada use today, currently?
Leopards still.
Oh, okay.
Still
Is it
Leopards.
an updated version?
There have been updated versions. There's we might be up to like a C4 or something, because initially it was the Leopard I drove was a C1A1, and then they went to C1. Then they went to A1C2, so Canadian second model, if you will.
Sure.
And they upgrade the shit all the time. Like the sights that can be upgraded. The gunnery, but it's still a 105 though. It's not a 120 millimeter.
Do they upgrade anything to make you feel more comfortable?
Like
reclining
they put heated seats, I think, in some of them now.
Oh wow!
I know. I'm just
I don't know.
I'm totally fucking kidding.
Remember when
I'm totally kidding.
we did that car commercial? We had all these
wacky
cars.
I wanted to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember taking a meeting for this, and they're telling me we're going to have all these weird trucks and cars and stuff, and we're going to bring in this American battle tank. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, it was an M60.
An M60?
Which was like fucking old.
Which is really funny because they said...
I'm pretty sure it was M60.
Man, that thing was wild.
They said to me, do you have anybody who could drive this? I said, I do.
I got a guy.
Well, now on that commercial...
I got a guy. I know.
On that commercial, that tank, I mean... For someone like myself who has never seen or even witnessed a tank and it's like just doing its thing like that, just rolling down the road, it really was quite. I want to say intimidating, but that's not quite the word.
Yeah,
it's like it seems like a word that's even too light.
It is.
It's crazy intimidating.
Well, get 19 of them rolling down the road.
I wanted to ask you.
It's got to be noisy.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, see, another thing I got to ask about is that I'm with Andrew. I've never been in the military and I've never been around army tanks. So when we were there with this massive machine, I guess they had the owner guys from the
Two
museum
guys there.
driving.
Yeah.
I just because I said there were M60s, but I don't know because that's an older tank, right? Like, so I don't know what they would have had. Like, I know they didn't have an XM1 hull there. So was it a Leopard hull?
No,
was it a like what was it?
I think it was an American issue Army tank. An M60 sounds right.
Yeah, that's
big.
that's a World War II. Well, again, it's big. If you haven't seen a tank, then you're gonna go,
Right.
that's big.
Oh, so it's
Right. If you
not.
see a newer tank, you go, oh, that's big.
Are there bigger ones?
This thing was
That's
such a fucking
okay.
beast,
Never mind.
man.
I'll leave it.
It was such a fucking beast. And the way the track hit the pavement, not only was the pavement literally
Tearing up.
tearing up and
Yeah.
getting deeper,
Yeah.
but it sounded like just all the steel, it's scary shit.
It is.
Squeaking.
Now, did you have the same?
It must have been an M60 because the newer tanks have rubber pads in them. The older tanks didn't, and they tore up the pavement like nobody's
It did. It
business.
totally
man.
tore.
Yeah, toward
It ripped up
Yeah.
the pavement. Yeah.
But what was really cool is you climb onto this thing and you look down inside the turret, and there was I don't know, I'm completely ignorant about tanks, so I asked the question about how when you fire the thing, you're spinning this sucker, doesn't it chop off your feet or somebody? But I guess in order to fire, you have to close something, and everything closes, and everybody's got to be behind something. Everybody has to be in their position,
Yep.
or it won't fire.
No, it will fire.
Whoops.
It will fire. The loader, again, I don't know the insides of the M60, but I know how a breech works, and I know how a main gun works. The loader loads the round into the breech, and the breech goes and closes. And then when the crew commander says fire, then the gunner fires. That gun comes back.
Yeah.
If you're in a way, too bad
Bye-bye.
for you.
Like the recoil of the.
Absolutely. And inside the tank, you don't hear anything. Like you just hear like
You must
the
feel
noise
it.
is outside.
Right at the end of the muzzle.
The noise is outside. You don't hear shit inside.
Sure.
Right?
Huh.
You just hear the round ejecting from the breech. The clanging, and fucking load another one in there. It will fire. If you're in a way, it's going to fire. So it's all that. And the gunners, there's always a cage or there's something right next to the gunner here. So, he can't lean into it and go boom, like it's not there. And the crew commander knows to keep his knee out of the way because he's just about, like the gunner's here and the crew commander's like here over top of him. So if the crew commander's knee is sticking out this way and the breech comes back, boom, it's going to hit him. So he knows, keep your fucking knees together.
So this is a job where you don't just relax and let it happen.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. You got to pay attention.
How fast do these things go?
Well, I have somewhere in my photo archives, I have a photo of us, the squadron, driving down the Autobahn in Germany.
Whoa, really?
I have a photo of this. I have
Just a
photo of
second,
this.
just a second.
No, I have a photo of this.
No, just a second. There are people in this world like myself who have never driven on the Autobahn in a car.
Yeah.
And you drove on the Autobahn in
In
an
a
army
tank.
tank.
Correct.
That's fucking cool.
That is correct. Now, the Autobahn, like certain parts of the Autobahn are speedless, as we know. It's
Right.
not
Yes.
the whole Autobahn.
It's like the fastest
It's certain parts
Right.
of the Autobahn.
Spot in the world, yeah.
Are zero limit, right? I have a photograph of us going down the Autobahn, going from like exit to exit, let's say, to get into like the next town. And to answer the question of how fast they go, I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking probably about 80 kilometers, 70, 80
Okay.
K.
Wow.
It's 44 metric tons.
I'm not even sure what that means, but
It's 44
it's
metric
huge.
tons.
Yeah.
In a small confined space. It's not like a tractor trailer. This is 44 metric tons of combined fucking steel and weight, right? So,
With two tracks that turn independently.
well, if they want to.
No, that's you better be on your game.
Well, it's a steering wheel.
Oh, it's a steering wheel.
Well, it's not a steering wheel. It's that half. Pardon me.
No, it happens.
Jesus, Darren.
I know. Fuck. Jesus Christ! Don't you know silent?
I love that sound because that means money. Yeah. There's another producer calling, Darren, we need you.
We need you, man. Sorry, can't go. Yeah, no, but it's like a half wheel. That half wheel. Thing
Okay,
I was
yo,
talking
right,
about in
sure.
the plane, like the plane thing. Right. So it's like.
Does it have power brakes and stuff?
The brakes are actually there's two brake systems, and the main one is nitrogen. It's backed up with a nitrogen cylinder, so if you hit the fucking brakes on this, which happens a lot. Well, with the new drivers, you can always tell. This was a thing actually. This is actually funny. When we're doing our gunnery course, you could actually tell who the new drivers were by the gunners, because the gunners, a lot of times, if you had a bad driver, it had these little scabs on their nose here. I'm serious, because like, because you got
They're aiming it up.
You got your episcopes, you got your sights here, and the gunners, like, he's kind of like hovering over these sights all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Right? And if you got a driver that doesn't know not too hard, all the time. And next thing you know, you get little fucking scabs right here from smashing into the thing. So the brakes are very touchy. Like, you can stop that thing like really fast, but you're going to damage the crew in the back. You got three guys. You got a loader, operator, and gunner. Or you got the loader. The loader is an operator, and the gunner and the crew commander. So if you jam the brakes on, you're hurting somebody.
So that's 4 people per tank?
Correct. Driver's separate because he's in the hull.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And everybody else is in a turret.
But you can communicate just fine. It's all there, obviously.
Headphones.
Yeah, of course.
You got your own little tank
Built in.
podcast going on.
Now, what does it mean when you're living in a city and all of a sudden tanks are rolling through? What does that mean for people?
Well, like the film industry, they get notified. When you're doing an exercise, when you go through like Germany or whatever country, you're notified. If you're a resident, you're notified ahead of time.
Yeah, locations guys go ahead and put
Correct,
something in your mailbox.
Exactly. Listen, you're going to be an exercise here, fucking tanks are going to be rolling through, blah, blah, blah. And back in the day, actually, some of the farmers would welcome that, because what would happen is sometimes you're in...
Oh, it'd scare all the...
Well, no, you'll drive... I also have another photograph of us, and I'm in the photograph. It's hard to tell it's me because there's a bunch of us, but I'm just before a cornfield. And we're kind of leaguered there, and then we got orders to advance. So we drove right through the fucking cornfield. So then there's an assessor from the government that comes behind that. This was on the day. I don't know how it works now. And they go, okay, well, how much damage here?
I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting.
And they cut you a check.
That's fascinating.
Right. There's also there's been stories of guys driving through like chicken coops, farms or whatever. Oh,
Jeez.
chicken died, and how much would that chicken would have produced for its lifetime?
Right.
And then the government would cut them a check. So, again, in Germany, when I was like the farmers were like, yeah, fucking park right here. Park right
Crazy.
here. This is great. Because again, the assessor would go back after if you did any damage.
Wow.
And
Now, I don't imagine it was only farmers dealing with this.
well, it's just farmers that you didn't drive through somebody's house in like downtown.
Right, okay.
Fucking,
Okay.
You know what I mean? But because again, wars and battles are not. Well, now they are, but back then, like there's the fields, there's the all of that, and that's so they would they'd just drive around, and farmers would love for us to just drive through their shit
Wow.
because they get paid for it.
Now, what if it wasn't training day? What if it was war day?
Well, then that's war day, and who fucking cares at that point? Just save yourself. Like there's no,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there's no,
yeah.
It's war. It's like
Yeah.
if there's a war going on, and you live there, you know.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
if
right,
You're
okay.
living in, if you're living in like Poland or
So it's not like it's a
Ukraine.
surprise that you come rolling down.
only, if there's a war. I mean, if you're in Ukraine right now, you
Yeah,
know
of
you're in
course.
a war zone.
I see.
I mean,
okay, of
and
course.
there's no sneaking up on anybody.
No, I mean, well, what do you mean?
Oh, they're noisy.
Like in terms of tanks, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, see, tanks, like, you're not sneaking up on the infantry, but you're still moving ahead.
Yes.
And you move ahead, you stop, right? And their sides do the same thing, so you're not sneaking up on anybody necessarily, but you're moving ahead, and you have the infantry in the front that's kind of like scoping shit out.
Right. Clearing the path.
Correct. And then you get the special forces guys.
Bunch of stunt people.
Correct. That drop from planes prior to all of that and sniff around too.
Right.
Right? So they drop out of planes, the stunt guys, sniff around, go, it's clear, boom. Then the infantry
Right.
moves up, then the armored moves up, then the artillery moves up. It's a whole thing. It's a fucking process, right?
Right on.
I've actually heard from some guys that actually say that being in a tank during these times is pretty frightening.
It is.
That sometimes being on foot is actually a better thing because you can get behind a tank or get somewhere else, and the tank is like out in the middle of fucking
1,000%.
nowhere.
1,000%. There's actually a statistic that, and I don't know what they are now, but I think the life expectancy of a tank crewman in World War II was like 8 minutes.
Holy fuck!
Like 8 minutes from being in a battle, let's say. So if you're like in a 10-minute battle,
Jesus.
because it's a target that once you hit it, it's not fucking moving.
well,
It's
Now here's okay. So, I don't know if this isn't off topic, but if you're in a tank and you're in the middle of a field and you get hit with something that immobilizes that tank, are you guys as equipped, weapons wise, helmet wise, whatever, to get out of Dodge? Does that make sense?
or are you bound to that tank?
Can you climb out and you've got a gun and a rifle and whatever?
yeah. You haven't watched many tank movies.
No.
Are there any? No.
Yeah, but see,
there's Fury. There's Fury.
I'll tell you what. There's what's the movie with Brad Pitt?
Fury. Yeah.
Fury.
Fury with Shia LaBeouf and Brad Pitt.
Right.
I watch a lot of movies. Don't believe a lot of shit.
Yeah. Same.
Well, here's the thing.
We do them.
I know, right? Because we work in the land of make believe. But realistically speaking, and fortunately, I haven't been in that situation, but I can see that play out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get hit with something in a tank in the middle of a field, chances are, whatever hit you,
Yes.
if it's not an artillery piece, like let's say it's an anti-tank weapon that just blows your track off, some
Yes.
dude with a fucking M72 that's sitting there going, pshh, boom, blows
Right.
off your track.
Yep.
Now you're fucking done, right? So you have a choice. Do you stay in your tank and try to fight it out, or do you get out and run? You're in the middle
you
of a
guys
field,
are piecing the fuck out of here.
right? But you're in the middle of a field.
Right. So
Now you're
they
fucking...
can see you. It doesn't.
Well, totally. Like you can go, like it's an assessment. It's a call on the day, right? Like, do you stay here and try to fight?
I guess it depends
or-
on who's.
I suppose that
Who's around you? Like, do you have the troop? Is it like 4 tanks? Is it like fucking 16 tanks? Like,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's an assessment call that has to happen like in
on the
big
moment.
hurry.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you get out, there could be a guy, because in a tank you don't just have the main gun, you have like three
Yeah,
other
machine
fucking
guns and
supporting
stuff.
machine guns.
Right.
So you get out, they go, brrr, and then just track you down. Right. So it depends. It's a judgment call at that point.
That's
like,
interesting.
do you stay or do you go? And
Yeah.
who's supporting you? Like, do you have like, 4 other tanks who go, okay, dude, we got support fire for you, but get the fuck out, come behind our tanks,
Totally.
right? Or are you all by yourself? Or it's
It's fascinating that a tank will be left alone, kind of deal, when you blow his track off. And
they're never
Yeah,
alone,
it's
right?
kinda over.
They're never alone, like unless they get lost, which Americans do a lot.
yeah, I saw those movies too.
No, they do. It's that natural fact.
Like, is
I've
there a
lived it.
McDonald's in the area?
Yeah. No, but you're always traveling in a troop of at least 4.
Okay.
There's at least 4 of you. You should be. If there's only one of you, oh, fuck.
Well, you shouldn't have
I
a
guess
swim
the
alone.
other 3
Then
have
there's a
already been-
problem. The communication has broken down. You've fucking lost yourself. Like you should always have a supporting group with you.
Yeah.
With that shit, like all the time.
It's crazy.
Just like, well, you gotta have a coordinator, a safety guy, a guy with a bat, and the guy that's gonna fucking jump off the fucking thing.
It was a decent movie, though, Fury.
It is.
was all right.
Was it not directed by Angelina Jolie?
Oh, I don't
Are you
know.
kidding here right now?
Nope.
I didn't. I don't think it was.
Really?
But maybe.
I'm not on camera, so I'm going to look it up.
Oh, you're not on camera for this whole thing. Am I the only guy on camera right now?
No.
I see
no,
3 cameras in the house.
Deanna just cut away from him as he said that. Oh, whoops.
That's why I said it.
I say tape everything
matter.
and let the editor deal with it.
Yeah. True. You got to hire that guy.
No, Fury was directed by David Ayer.
Fury is one of the most
Accurate
accurate
portrayals.
depiction
Yeah.
of a tank crew.
I always wondered that.
It
It's
really
it's a
is.
true story, right? It's technically.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know. But to watch it and have lived part of that life in a sense, fucking 100%.
Wow.
100%.
What other tank movies are there?
Well, what's the one?
Kelly's Heroes.
Kelly's Heroes, right?
Kelly's Heroes is
Donald
great,
Sutherland,
man.
fucking the Beast. And all
Everybody's
that.
in that.
Yeah, this is cast of Brenner in there. It's like
Yeah,
everybody's in. it.
everybody's in there.
But in terms of like reality, technical information,
Yeah.
emotional decisions and traumas and all that. Fury is for me one of the best tank
wow.
movies
I'll have to watch that
it,
again.
it actually kind of like, yep,
I saw it
that's
not too long
pretty
ago.
Fucking close to what would happen there.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
So when you were done driving tanks, did you drive tanks right to the end of your military career?
totally.
Okay. So when you left, the day you left, you were a tank driver out.
Correct. Well, after jail.
Well, now let's just talk about
Okay,
that.
and the bus just took another turn. I was a weed smoker.
Yeah.
Still
hey.
am.
You are you?
am. Now I can say it out loud because I'm in living Canada and I'm all good with that.
Well, I got a little. in
Did
my
you guys want
pocket
to take
if
a
you-
break or?
Cut. Cut. Editor, please. Yeah. No, I mean, I smoked weed. I didn't even drink at the time. Actually, when I was in the military, I didn't even drink. I was a weed smoker, and I aced a lot of stuff. Like I did. I came in the top 10 percentage of pretty much.
You're winning
all the
every
shit.
contest.
Well,
Yeah.
you were chosen to compete with the Leopard, right? So that makes sense.
I was. I totally was. And there was a bunch of guys that could have picked. Like, so again, I was at the top of my game with that shit. And I had this notion of like, you know what? Fuck you. I can smoke weed and I can kick fucking ass. Meanwhile, these guys are all drunk and hungover and they can't perform and blah 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 and all that because again I wasn't a drinker, right? And I was like, these guys
Yeah.
like, really? Fuck off, right? And I actually got caught 3 times for smoking weed. Totally. And that was when the military had adopted a 0 policy. So what happened was my commanding officer really liked me, and so did my sergeant major. Like they backed me up, like big time. Shout out to Major Burge and Sergeant Major McMillan.
They're like, have you ever?
It's
seen,
legal now, guys. So you're not in shit.
You ever seen this guy with his clothes off? It's like,
No, really, for real. I'm telling you, man. I got court-martialed on the last fucking time, my last trial, and it was I actually felt really bad, honestly, because these guys actually stood up for me.
yeah, just bring that a little closer. Yeah,
My God.
you're good. You're good.
No, they stood up for me, and I feel like I let them down in a sense because I still kept smoking pot,
Yeah.
but I still fucking
To this
excelled.
day.
To this fucking like 2-hour moment. But it's true.
Okay, so just a second. You got busted for pot 3 times.
Correct. 30 days, 85 days, 5 months. That's what I did.
Okay, just a second. That went by too fast. 30 days. No,
30 days, 85 days, 5 months. That was my
okay, 30
sentences.
days first one.
Oh, for each
For
catch.
one joint.
Okay.
For one joint was 30 days, and that was in Edmonton, Alberta. I still remember the postal code TO82HO. Because you got to write letters all the time to your parents.
No fucking way.
I'm serious. TO82HO.
So were you stationed out there?
No.
Oh, you were stationed here
It's the
in
big
for
house.
Muckdo,
Yeah.
and then they flew you out there.
That's the big house. The military, you could be in Germany.
Yeah.
And if you get busted for, well, it was supposedly, I think at the time was like anything over 60 days,
Mm-hmm.
you had to go to the big house, which is in Edmonton, Alberta. It's Lancaster Park, actually. TOA.
Sounds like a
2HO.
Beatles song.
Yeah, but you had to go there. But my commanding officer on the first time, I think he took it easy on me because, unknown to me, so I spent like 3-4 days on the military, on the base jail. Then there's a 2-day travel to go to the Edmonton place. And you stay there for like 20 days or so. And you come back, so it wasn't, it wasn't like, it was shit, but I learned to know later, well, he did me a favor by doing it that way, as opposed to me staying on the base in that fucking jail, because the base jail was brutal. It was just a shit place to be. So, but I didn't learn my lesson, obviously, because 30 days, 85 days, 5 months. So, but I had this thing in me that, you know what, I will perform. I will fucking be all of that, and fuck off with your smoking weed stuff. You're giving guys booze at the cheapest rate in Canada.
Yeah.
Go to a Legion. A beer is like $2.25.
Totally.
Whiskey, $2.
Yeah.
Like they promote alcohol. Like they're like, because that's old school. Back like the Navy. Like they used to give you rum rations in the Navy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they give you shit to impair your shit, right? But but back then it was something else. Now, the military will actually subsidize your cannabis for your depression, if you will. I know a friend right now who's still in the military, but on what do they call it, eternal extended leave or eternal leave or whatever, because they had PTSD and stuff. 1.5 ounces per month, the military pays for her to fucking have weed and smoke weed and just calm herself down.
No shit.
How's that make you feel?
Dead serious, like shit, really. But it kind of vindicates my.
Well, that's the truth. It
does.
Yeah, yeah.
It does. It proves my fucking point.
Yeah, and you were just a part of learning, like a greater learning.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Exactly, Andrew. Exactly. I was just part of their growth and learning. Along with like, don't scream at the fucking recruits. But
Yeah. I'm with you.
right. But at the same time, that's where it's come to. Like, now if you get caught for smoking weed or something, counselor. You got to go to a counselor. Oh, second time. Okay, counselor, and maybe change location. Now we'll repost you to like Edmonton or whatever, Comox, BC or whatever. You know what I mean? Back then I was like, oh, weed out. So different times.
Yeah, that brings
Big
me
time.
to a whole other subject because right now marijuana in Canada is legal, and there's a whole lot of people in jail
Yeah.
for minor marijuana infractions. And I'm not talking about guys that are smuggling 2 tons, 500 pounds. I don't care. But there are people in jail right now who should be let go.
Absolutely.
We made a mistake. No, they may not have made a mistake. We learned. We're learning. It's over.
No, we're
You're
learning.
free to go.
We're
But
learning.
what was
Yeah.
why was it illegal at the time anyway?
Well, that's a piece of history.
Right?
Yeah.
It starts from the United States in a sense. Do you know, back in... Okay, I'm going to be a bit loose with my facts, so give this up.
Yeah. Look up
So
everything.
anyone watching,
Everything
yeah.
Darren says, look it up.
Look it up. No, but I'm close. I'm close. There was a time when maybe 1910s, 1920s in the States that you were actually subsidized by the government if you grew hemp
Sure. And that's true.
on your farm.
It's correct. As a matter of fact, at some time it was illegal not to.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But what happened was prohibition had a thing to play with that whole thing, and my mind gets foggy with that.
Yeah. Not to mention the tequila. Or the lack of tequila in that glass.
That was the thing. We're in a very interesting time in terms of like medical shit. Like right now, they're talking about like using psilocybin and psychedelic
Oh, yeah,
drugs
man.
Sure.
to
To
fight
combat
with depression,
PTSD.
and PTSD, all that,
Even
business.
Alzheimer's and all
that
kinds
shit.
of stuff.
Yeah. We're so fucking backwards with that stuff.
We're learning.
We're trying to learn. We're trying to learn.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not saying everybody go out and get fucked up. That's not what I'm talking about. There's use and abuse
Correct.
Totally.
in everything. In
Yep.
whether food, love, sex, what the fuck, it doesn't matter.
Totally, man.
There's use and abuse. And right now, I think that okay, my last name is Marsman. So I know, right?
Putting it all together.
But I think that we're started figuring out. Okay, you know what? Maybe there's something to this stuff that we've been going. No, stop, fucking.
Big time.
We're starting to go. Wait a minute. Maybe there's something to this, and. I mean, look at the natives and the
I think
fucking...
exactly
like-
that's the point. I think there's always been something to it.
Correct.
My youngest daughter studies this stuff.
Yeah.
She went to Peru. Is it Peru?
She went to Peru. Yep.
To try the ayahuasca stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Incredible.
She did
stories.
3 weeks, man.
Wow.
And
That's
hardcore.
intense, man. That's fucking
No,
intense.
she's got incredible
Wow.
stories. I believe them all.
I want to try.
It's amazing.
It's
and
amazing.
I think it's always been a part of our nature, but we have gotten away from it. And we should really go back.
We've denied it, Randy.
Yeah.
And again, I go back to, I think a lot of it is politically driven.
Of course.
It's obviously society driven. Because if you don't know, then you're going, fuck that.
Well, politically driven, societal driven, wants to control. And you have a bunch of free thinkers out there taking ayahuasca and psilocybin mushrooms and whatever else natural substance that makes you otherworldly.
Well, some of the most creative.
I think it opens up it just...
100%.
It does. It does. And some of the most creative people in the whole world that have done some of the most creative things and built the most creative ideas those ideas have derived from this kind of stuff.
Bingo.
And I think that nowadays it would be silly for anyone not to recognize that.
Correct. Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that you should smoke or do whatever it is and get behind a wheel or do any these things. Again, like you said, there's like a gauge in there, right? You gotta
use and abuse.
Yeah, use
totally.
and abuse
And respect. And respect for all that shit. Like, know what you're dealing with and deal accordingly. That's actually on the bottom of my email. That's my tagline.
What is it?
Know what you're dealing with and deal accordingly. That's my tagline.
Mine is...
I know what yours is. Yours is, experience is not expensive. It's fucking priceless.
Yes.
Except for the fucking priceless part.
I should put that in.
And it's at the end. It's at the end of this. Podcast.
It's at the end.
It's
of this
at the end
podcast.
of the podcast. We put that up.
It is.
'Cause it's great.
I use it sometimes.
Well, you get, we're in the same industry, so we get all sorts of pushback from producers and things.
Feeling parched.
What am I doing?
Okay, Jesus.
Jesus, I'm gonna kill your buzz.
People are going to think, well, we do 4 of these a day, so it's okay. No, I'm kidding.
Go.
This is like the Ellen fucking show.
We get all sorts of pushback from producers on a weekly basis that this is what things cost and whatever. I won't get into it, but yes, experience isn't expensive. It's priceless.
Well, it is. And anybody, again, this falls back into human nature. If you're hired to watch the numbers, then you're just going to watch the numbers, and you're going to forget about the physical aspect, the physiological aspect, the human aspect of shit. You're just looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
But,
whenever a young person comes to me and says, I want to be a stunt performer, is it hard to become a stunt performer? I usually tell them that it's easier to meet God.
Because at one point in time, being a stunt performer, you may meet God.
Well, whoa. But I tell them, I said, I have a question that I'll ask you. And if you can answer this question, not only will I hire you, you can live with my wife and I. Because I know they can't answer it.
I know.
Huh?
Yeah. So what is that question, Randy?
Well, I'll tell you, Darren.
I know.
That was good.
I know. He's been very quiet there, but I'm going to bring his ass out right now.
No, but I'm getting to a point, though. The question is, what physical skill can you bring to my game that 100 of my very best friends can't do and haven't already done in 1,000 films and on television? You can't answer it because in my phone...
That's a hard one, buddy.
In my phone, in my phone, I have the best motorcycle riders, car racers,
martial artists,
gymnasts, skydivers.
Absolutely.
I have a tank driver in my phone. So the point is this, that if you're spending $250,000 today, that producer has a lot of responsibility. So it's my responsibility to him or her to hire the right person. So what's really hard is, despite the fact you want to be a stunt performer more than anything in the world, and you've got a great look and you're whatever, what the hell makes you think I'm hiring you when I can hire my buddy or my buddy's buddy who's done it 1,000 times already? That's the problem. And that's where experience isn't expensive. It's priceless, because the value that producer is going to get by spending the money I tell him you're worth is out there, man.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's 1,000%. Randy, I've spoken about my journey into the film industry and all that business, and shared a lot with you and all that, right? And I consider myself a fairly intelligent individual.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I sniff around, all that, and you do your thing, right? And there's very few people that I have known. I've known you probably 20 years, really.
At least.
But we've really gotten to know each other in like 15 years.
20
like,
minutes. Oh,
minute?
no, you're absolutely right.
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really.
You're one of my favorite people
Right?
in this business, brother.
Andrew, like, I was introduced to Andrew like probably 10, 12 years ago.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I've never gotten to know him until like 5 years ago.
Probably. Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Right? You know, hey, Andrew, you know, Randy's son. Okay, cool. Now he's like Andrew.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
That's right.
So that's how that works. And, you know, I've had the opportunity to work with many people in different facets of life. Call it military, call it fucking whatever. In my mind, there's 7 personalities in the whole world. It doesn't fucking matter whether you're English, French, German, Arabian, Arabic, fucking China. Doesn't matter. We're humans, and there's 7 personalities. There's idiosyncrasies amongst those, but there's general things about people. Like you said, like prior, you know, you went, you know it. You go, yep. You know it. Within 30 seconds, it's fucking done in your head.
Yeah.
Right? You're one of those people for me. Like, you know, I look up to you. Like
I'm taller.
No, you're not.
No, that's well.
No, you're not.
You're right. I'm not.
I got a half an inch on you, buddy. No, but you are. You're one of those guys, Randy. So
Yeah.
wear that, own it, and because people look up to you.
Big time.
I do. You're one of those dudes, man. Like fucking solid guy. If he looks at you in the face and he goes da 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 da, got it. You know, if he goes, no, this is good, got it. Because you, whatever it is, your experience, your all of that. You know, you're one of those guys. So, again, like I said at the very beginning, I feel honored and privileged to kind of be here and chat with you guys.
Well, that's some
Andrew.
experience
Andrew.
right there.
Thanks for bringing the tequila.
Yeah. We're gonna get crying.
It's
soon,
going
I
to
think.
cost you a lot of money. No,
But you
no
know
I'm
what?
serious. I'm dead serious about all that. So,
Well, hey,
cheers,
yeah,
Darren.
I'm
cheers to
dead serious.
that. Cheers to that.
I'm dead serious about that. Really.
No, thank you for that. That's
you know?
kind.
You know, I've met other people's, you know, children and offspring, all that, attrition, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But this is cool. This is cool.
Well, see, to
For
me, that right
thank
there defines what you say. Experience isn't expensive; it's priceless. And that right there, because maybe I'm speaking for Darren, but I'm also speaking for myself. That at the end of the day, I'm gonna take with me my time was spent here, but I got memories. I got things to think about, things to remember and talk about. All that stuff is part of the experience. And even if you're buying the experience, no matter what it cost, it's priceless in what you come out with it, right? What you get to remember and think about, because I think that your ultimate happiness relies in looking back at the good shit. It's
Absolutely.
not necessarily what we're doing today. It's what we're thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of what we're doing today is part of the story next year.
Yeah, man.
Because what you did today and what you're doing today will forward itself to fucking later.
Yeah, yeah. It's an education.
That was fucking cool. Like, you know what? I learned something. Yeah, that was cool.
Yes, yes.
And we, you know, we neglect some of it. We don't. Again, technology too. Yes, some of it's good,
For sure.
but some of it, you know, we need to learn how to fucking talk and sit around and
There needs to be something that
exchange
tears us
stuff,
away from that stuff. Yeah.
right? And I guess this is what podcasts do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
loving it.
which is
I'm
funny
loving-
because it's
I'm
full of
loving
tech.
Yeah.
It's like full of new tech, but it is a medium. It's like a way of being able to use new tech and come to like a less technical experience. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
like-
say technical.
can't even say technical.
You know, Andrew turned me on to podcasts with Joe Rogan and a few others, Les Fridman.
Yeah, man.
I love it because I travel a lot, and if I have hours to spend, I love being a part of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to participate in the conversation, ask questions or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Usually the person that's moderating the podcast asks that question.
The right
I need,
questions, yeah.
Yeah, and then the person
That keeps
offers
you engaged.
information. Yeah, I love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
enjoy it.
Totally. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go 10-1 again now.
Holy
This
So,
is
fuck.
just shaking. But you thought I was dancing right now, didn't you? You thought I
Yeah,
was getting
I
ready.
thought we were getting a
You-
contest
I-
going.
You thought I was getting ready to bust the move right now.
Yeah. I was thinking like, here we go.
No, I got to pee again.
Okay, so
Okay, so you guys talk amongst
you
yourselves
feel
So
if
free.
you
far,
will.
so far, this is a record.
yeah, this
Two
is
and
a
a-
record.
2-1.
2-1.
All right.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go to the Badger for a little bit, something to eat. But when I get back,
Is there a pool table over there?
no?
Because apparently, I've heard
Yeah,
one of you all.
both.
Oh, he already knows what I'm going to see.
Are decent.
Have know the right end of the stick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are our sticks there. The black one's
Well,
mine.
everybody can fucking have.
No, but
I know.
you'll see where mine's. You can screw mine in half because it travels.
Oh,
That's
it's the black one.
Yeah,
I know.
all the kids in Rhonda have their own.
So Cummins-y, we have to do this one time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that'd be sick.
If not tonight, okay. I'm going to put this in my contract because I want also a big fucking rim when I come back. No, this table has to be open,
Okay.
and we need to make it an editor's nightmare.
have you seen my table?
Well, no, I have not.
Pull that aside just a second, real quick.
I saw the pockets. That's all I need to
Oh,
see.
yeah.
No, I saw the pockets.
Yeah, you-
Harley Davidson black and
Randy,
orange, buddy.
I saw the pockets. I saw the pockets. So maybe next time, let's do like a 3-hour thing
yeah.
and make it an editor's nightmare, but have the
the pool.
table open.
Yeah.
Fucking call some shots, buddy.
Copy that. We're in.
A couple of
All
3 in the
right.
corners,
I
4
just-
in the corner, 3 in the sides. Come on, let's go.
I find it fascinating that
Come and see.
he's assuming there's going to be a next time.
No.
True.
Okay, cut back to.
Too much demand. Everybody wants to be on here. And,
I know.
and,
It's true. That's why the numbers are like they're in thousands now. So it's- and I did
Yeah.
say somewhere in there, like, I feel honored and blessed to be asked to come and like really, even after a bunch of tequilas.
Oh,
It's
honored to
ours.
have you.
It's ours.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
We're the
it's
ones that are honored,
Fucking cool.
Yeah, man.
Loving it all.
Same.
I know. So how does this go? So then we go to I don't know. There's got to be something else.
Yeah, I'm let's talk about your stunt career. Like,
Oh no, this
what are we talking about?
nothing. I thought we were going to wings and there's
Oh,
no pool table.
We're going to go down to
There's
the
no
Badger, but there's
fucking
no
pool
pool
table.
table. No pool table.
Oh, that's where it went off. That's where it went off the rails. we need to play pool next time and have this podcast.
100%.
The podcast at the same time we play pool.
Correct.
Okay.
That's not a bad idea.
No, I'm telling
It's
you.
not.
No,
Hang the mics from the ceiling, get a little bunch of.
No, just
That's true.
Just in a couple cameras up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have lav mics. I'll just have lav mics on.
Like I said, it's an editor's nightmare, but it'll look great though.
There's no editing. We roll, we cut.
There you go.
It's true. Right now, Deanna's just back there finding
she's
shots.
switching.
Yeah, she's switching. Not all cameers are recording at once.
I can't wait to sign the board. I now have to think.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
let's do
I
that
have to
right
think.
now.
No, I need to think. Oh my god.
Well, here.
Because once
think-
it's down there,
If you think with this, you might embody it and
Okay.
sort of just start.
that's true. Okay, we'll go with
No.
that.
We can talk and you can sort of think.
So, Darren, what's next? What are you going to do?
Well, we're going for wings and stuff.
Okay.
At the Badger.
Further down the timeline.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
don't
Black
know.
Badger in
I really,
Cambridge.
you know what? I really don't know. What's next is more and better of what has happened so far.
Right.
Basically,
I agree.
learn from what I've learned,
Yeah.
act on it, trust it, trust it. 'Cause
Can you
sometimes-
believe Matt's out running marathons?
Oh my God! I
I saw that picture on
There's
Facebook where he
something
was
else,
bent
yeah.
over and there was a wire behind him.
I know.
Huh? It looked like he was doing a jerk,
it's
right?
just getting ready to go, right?
Yeah, I thought that was it was so weird.
I know.
But it was almost perfect.
It was perfect.
Matt did a marathon,
Yeah.
and he's leaning over on his legs, getting a breath. I would assume, right?
Okay.
Well, it's the end of the race, actually.
Yeah. So, but there's a trailer behind him with a pull down door, and when
Okay.
you pull down the door, there's a wire that goes from the door to the trailer.
Okay.
But that wire was looks like it's attached to Matt's back. It looked
Is
like
it-
he was
is
ready
it-
to do it.
And he's curved over.
Yeah. It looks like he's ready to go.
He's ready to go. He's ready to pop it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's hilarious.
It's like, what's the wire for? But yeah, he's
funny.
he's running marathon. He's going to London to run a marathon at like the end of October, beginning of September or something.
The hell? I mean, I want him on the show. I want to have Matt here.
Oh, you gotta have
Oh no.
Randy.
No.
You gotta have
Oh
him.
no. I'll have him
sure.
here. He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy.
Gotta-
He's been like busy.
Andrew was just out for him. He's out again next week with him.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally. I mean, I'm covering for him on some of his shows.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I used to cover him a lot of shows. I owe Matty a huge deal.
You gotta bring him. You gotta bring him. Is like personality all over the place, and experience and the stories he's got. Bring him out for
Yeah.
sure.
Love it.
Oh,
And the
yeah,
best
man.
jokes.
So,
Well, he's got a couple good ones.
you won't stop him.
There's that one.
Well, you. Wow. Yeah.
I'm glad you were on camera for that, not me.
That just happened naturally.
That's hilarious. Well, every
Guys.
every guest signs our table.
I know.
Our table's going to be worth a lot of money someday. Pick a spot.
I'll be dead by then.
Andrew, put the glass where you think you might want Darren to sign so he doesn't sign where Shawnee should.
Right here. Right over. Right there.
So don't sign there.
Sign there.
Yeah, sign where the
Or
glass
sign,
is.
sign actually wherever you want. Don't sign there. Shawnee was our first guest. He made the idea of doing this.
And then he got up and left.
And then he
we
got
didn't-
up and left,
didn't
and he's
do
the
it.
only one who wasn't signed.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, so he's got to come back
Oh,
and
you
sign
got
at
to
the
leave
table.
a huge spot
Right where your
there.
left, right where your
Fucking-
right hand is, he's going to sign.
Well, he said he called the center. He said.
Oh, did he?
So,
Okay, put it-
however
yeah.
he wants to do it, because
It's
this
his
is
thing.
the
It
center
should
of the
be
whole.
Center.
I'm sorry I brought it up. Darren, sign wherever you want.
Fuck. Okay. Well, see, like people. Fuck.
Yeah, that all.
No, you say what? Hey,
It's so
listen.
important to me. I need time.
Take your time. We don't have to rush it. You
I'm
sign
gonna
the
sign
table,
the
and we're going to
table.
go have some chicken wings.
Can't do this anymore. Okay, that's exactly what I'm right. Actually, can't do this.
Oh my
He's
God.
right. He can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Nah, we get it. Believe me.
Fuck. Right. I'm gonna take my time to make sure people can. It's legible.
So glad you made the trek from Toronto to my home to speak to Andrew and I, and just have a conversation about whatever, and have a shot
It's
of
been
tequila.
awesome, man.
I'm so in. And stand-up paddleboards, everybody. That's
Damn it.
the fucking
Yeah.
thing. Like, get on a paddleboard.
It's the moral of this whole story here.
I love how we framed it with the paddle boards.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You know.
That's just good writing.
It's you can't make that shit up. Oh wait, yes you can.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
All
A,
right.
guys.
Well, cheers.
Let's go get some
Let's
chicken
say
wings.
never mind. I was just gonna say.
All right. Cheers, Darren.
Cheers.
Thanks
Cheers,
for
guys.
coming, buddy. I love you.
Cheers, buddy.
All right,
Yeah,
man. Cut it, Deanna.